Well, hello there, and good evening, everybody. Hello to all my friends on YouTube. I'm William Brantley, and I'm ready to share with you today's climate summary and give you a forecast for the next few days momentarily. And I'm live from Bemis, Tennessee. I like using that word on Facebook also. And I'm live in a sense right here on YouTube, even though it becomes a video, but it becomes a video on YouTube also. I meant on Facebook also. And you can find that information on my Facebook group page if you should ever want to check over to that. I have it set up on my regular timeline or news feed, I guess you'd call it, at William Elton Brantley. I got a little display on that page of my showing my family members as well, and a little block called Brantley's Weather. Simply click on that and it should take you to my group page, and you'll see all my weather postings that I put there on Facebook, which includes the, generally speaking, as of 5 p.m. at least, the basic conditions for the day, like the highest, lowest barometric pressure, humidity, dew point, the high and low temperature, rainfall amount, blah, 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 which is what I'm fixing to share with you verbally here in a few moments. But I don't put it on here anymore because it takes so much time to go through all that. But some of you, I'm sure, would like to know what it is, and you can find it there, or you can wait till after midnight if you'd like. Around 2 a.m., or hopefully at the latest, I'll have the 24-hour summary of all those conditions I just mentioned on my historical climate data page, which is found at two locations: on WordPress at williamebrantley.wordpress.com, or on Google at brantley'sweather.blogspot.com. Those are the 24-hour summaries. The ones I put on Facebook and Twitter are generally 18-hour summary, maybe 17-hour summary as of 5 p.m. in general. But either or, you'll get the pretty good idea, or from either one of them. Alrighty, enough on that. Thought I'd share that with you. Maybe I should share that on Facebook too, about me doing it on YouTube. Actually, I have mentioned that a couple of times, so people watching on Facebook can tune to YouTube. Alright, and get it to both locations, either or. Alrighty, let me get on to the climate data, the ones that I just mentioned to you, a few Pacifics anyways. As of 5 p.m., it was partly cloudy here in Bemis, Tennessee. The temperature was 54 degrees at that time. Dew point was 46 degrees. Hold on. Scratching my nose. Sorry about that. Humidity was 75%. The winds were out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure was 30.20 inches of mercury. Today's low temperature here in Bemis was 44 degrees. Today's high was 55 degrees. No rainfall, of course, has fell since midnight. I'm setting at 3.24 for the month of December and 76.71 inches for the year. The record wettest for Bemis is 2004, when we had 83.87 inches of rainfall. That's not quite a record yet for this year, but we're sort of approaching it. The airport is a little closer, though, than what Bemis is, and I don't have that figure in front of me at the time. I'm sure it'll be big news once they break their record, since they're closer than I am, but that's okay. Let me see. The highest wind gust today was 14 miles per hour out of the east at 1:49 p.m. I did have a little bit more during the year thanks to the rain back in January through April, I believe it was. I had a little bit more than them, and that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit more ahead of them for the yearly total than they are. They've had a little over 74 inches out there. It seemed like 74 and a quarter. I can't remember exactly. Their record is 74 and a half inches back in 1950, I think. They may actually break that record come Thursday, depending on how much rain we have then. But again, I got a little ways to go, having 83, almost 89, 84 inches and I'm sitting at 76 inches, almost 77. So I'm within 5 inches roughly of the record, and that's pretty darn close though. We'll see what happens between now and next Tuesday, actually, or really next Monday night to midnight. All right, that's enough of that. Now let me get on to some of the graphs, so I won't take too much time on this one. I know you enjoy knowing that information, though, I'm sure. Let's see. Let me go ahead and show the radar first. Hope it's still playing. Yeah, it is. Good. We do have rain coming our way. It hasn't made it here yet. It'll probably be here somewhere around midnight, not long afterwards. It is getting close, as you can see, down to Mississippi and over in parts of Oklahoma and extreme western Arkansas. It's moving in our direction, and again, it'll be here sometime between, a little after midnight, especially toward tomorrow morning, near daybreak, and on throughout the day. More on that as we get to the forecast. Heavy rain over there in parts of Oklahoma and up into Kansas, and actually on up into Nebraska and Iowa. And it's snowing just north of there. Yeah, it's snowing today in parts of the U.S. Let me see if I can branch this out just a little to show it to you a little bit better. There we go. Hopefully I didn't mess up my video. As you can see, it's snowing almost as far west as Chicago, Illinois, or as far east, I should say. Almost should say southeast, I guess, with the angle of it here. It's going northwest all the way up, southeast through northwest. I'll get it straight in a minute. Pretty good snow falling up there, moving into Minnesota and northeastern South Dakota and a good part of northern North Dakota. Most of North Dakota and Minnesota, like I mentioned, and it's moving northward on up into Canada near Winnipeg. Winnipeg, Canada is fixing to get some snow fairly soon. And it's fairly heavy in the southern half of Minnesota and a good chunk of the eastern two-thirds of North Dakota and the northeast corner of South Dakota. Up there, though. Not around here. Thank goodness. I'm going to put it back down closer to home and branch out one more time. Hopefully it won't mess up my recording. Come down a little and let you see that it's snowing in the northeast a little bit up in New York and a very small portion of the Pacific, the U.S., the New England states. I'll get it out in a second. And here's a better picture of the snow in northern plain states and near the Midwest. And the rain south of the snow, of course. Alright, that's good enough for that one, I hope. Then move on to the satellite picture. Thanks to AccuWeather, I decided to go to the national view this time. You see all the clouds around the area, and some of it approaching Jackson. It's going to be becoming cloudy before very long, probably even before midnight. And then on until tomorrow, and then clear up somewhere around 2 a.m. Friday morning. That's what's expected at this time. Plenty of rain to our west and south, and a lot of that's moving in our direction. But the severe weather, I think, is going to stay south of us, even though we may have a few heavy thunderstorms ourselves come tomorrow afternoon and evening, probably. All right, let's look at the rest of the country. It's almost cloudy all across the entire country, except in the east. And it's going to become cloudy over there tomorrow, as well as here, of course. Clear way down the southern portions of Texas and a good part of Florida, all of the Carolinas and Virginia and up in that area. And they'll be coming cloudy tomorrow, and then on out here. All right, let me take a wide view of it there. All right, that's a satellite picture and your favorite pick of who you want to look at the most. And all. Now let's look at this one locally here in West Tennessee. This is a map of the expected hazardous weather outlook, the way the Weather Service calls it, and expecting windy conditions, of course, tomorrow, and very windy, even more down in northern Mississippi. That's the strong thunderstorms are expected on there along and south of Clarksdale, Mississippi, to Tupelo, Mississippi, to Oxford to the Mississippi line, generally south of that area. Not to rule out some a little north of there, but that's the general expectancy at this time. And that's the little bit of wording of it. Wind advisory, which I'm fixing to show you in a moment. And I forgot to bring the other part up. It's starting tonight at midnight. Winds from strong gusty winds from the south are expected. Thursday, wind gusts from 30 to 40 miles per hour out of the south is in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow night. That's what I was going to show you. I'll go ahead and show you the main map for that. That's this one right here. This one in brown. All this brown area, which includes Madison County, all of West Tennessee, a wind advisory from midnight tonight until 6 p.m. tomorrow night for a wind gust of near 40 miles per hour or greater is possible until 6 p.m. tomorrow night, which means by near midnight tonight the winds should start picking up pretty strong even later tonight. So you have any loose items outside that could be blown away fairly easy or moved around easy, you better put them in a secure spot out of the wind if you do have something. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the forecast maps. Let me bring up the bigger version real quick and show you that. And maybe it'll be it for the evening other than the detailed forecast. The map features for tonight looks like, as you can see, I'll leave it right here for now. Area down in Texas of severe thunderstorms possibility. The red sections inside that yellow one is a possibility of flash flooding and heavy rains. Heavy rains actually extend on up into western sections of Oklahoma. A warm front's moving toward us. There's the low pressure causing all that there in the Texas Panhandle border. A little snow north of that, and where we saw where the snow was a while ago, and more snow and freezing rain up there in the western Great Lakes area. And they don't have much, maybe a little bit up there in western New York, like we saw that a moment ago as well. Nothing really in our area right away. That'd be changing after midnight tonight. And there you see the other areas of precipitation where it's expected. The white dotted lines are where snow's expected out west in the mountains. Alright, tomorrow morning's forecast map shows the flash flooding possibility moving south of us, east and south of us, south of Tennessee, though, right along the Alabama-Georgia border. Flash flooding from South Carolina, North Carolina, down to about New Orleans. Some thunderstorm threats down in Louisiana and extreme southeastern Texas. A warm front's going to be moving through tomorrow morning. Got a cold front to be moving in tomorrow night, early Friday morning. And big area of snow up north, as you can see, from Nebraska up through the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, and on up into southeastern Canada. Freezing rain over parts of the northeast, including the Great Lakes area. Pretty good area there. And other than that, a little snow out in the western mountains of the western U.S. And that pretty much covers that for tomorrow morning. Let's look at Friday morning's forecast. The flooding threat moves east of Tennessee, mainly from Virginia down to Georgia. Thanks to that warm front there, the snow swings down to that small area there in Nebraska. And freezing rain still up in the New England areas, on up into parts of southeastern Canada. And two cool fronts will be moving through on Friday. One through kind of middle and east Tennessee and moving through west Tennessee. And then got a one out here be moving through probably a couple of days later. Got three cold fronts going to make an attempt to move through us. Two already is, one's potential after Friday morning for the third one. And then you see where the snow is out west come Friday morning, where they're expecting snow in parts of the country. and the precipitation will be gone by Friday morning here, possibly as early as 2 a.m. Friday morning. Alright, that's map features for Friday morning. Let me go and give you the detailed forecast, and then I'll be through for tonight. Let me turn the camera around real quick so I can aim it on me real fast, and apologize for the time it takes to do that. Forecast for tonight, of course, becoming mostly cloudy pretty soon for the rest of the evening, and into tomorrow, and then clearing up toward about 2 a.m. Friday morning, which I've mentioned a few times. The moon will be rising tonight at 9:33 p.m. Be setting at 10:27 a.m. tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, of course, with an 80% chance of rain. Thunderstorms is likely towards 7 p.m. Now, there is some computer models that's trying to push the line of thunderstorms through as early as noon tomorrow, between noon and 3 p.m. The one that I rely upon the most doesn't necessarily make it the most accurate. Is saying roughly between 7 p.m. tomorrow night till around midnight tomorrow night, no later than 1 a.m. Friday morning. So it might be a good bet to say thunderstorms are possible anywhere from noon tomorrow till midnight tomorrow night. It depends upon which forecast model gets the timing right on it. But technically, I'm going to go ahead and go with 7 p.m. to about midnight tomorrow night for the best chance for thunderstorms here in West Tennessee. We'll see tomorrow how close whichever one happens. And regardless of which one's right, thunderstorms are fairly likely sometime tomorrow. I think the afternoon, late afternoon, and on into the evening hours will be a good assumption at this time. Now, I may eat crow for saying that later on tomorrow, but I'll worry about that then. Alright, it'll be windy with south winds at 20, gusting to 40 miles per hour, like I mentioned, with that wind advisory for all of West Tennessee. Low tomorrow morning near 51. I wish it would be 61. I'd be almost a little too warm for a low. 51 degrees for the low. Tomorrow's high should be about 62, which would be nice. And the sun rises tomorrow morning at 7:03, sets at 4:49 p.m. tomorrow evening. The moon rises tomorrow night at 10:40 p.m. and sets at 11:05 a.m. Friday morning. And speaking of Friday, it should become fair around 2 a.m. on for the rest of the day, Friday and Friday night. Low near 50, high near 54, with west winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Weekend doesn't look too bad. Fair till Saturday, fair till Saturday night, then becoming mostly cloudy, with low near 30, high of 49, with north winds at 10 to 20. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of some rain, low 36, high of 52, with north winds at 10 to 20. As of right now, New Year's Eve day, mostly cloudy with a 60% chance for rain, just a 30% chance by that Monday night, New Year's Eve day night. Shouldn't interfere with the outdoor activity around midnight to welcome in New Year's, or at least it doesn't appear to be at this time. Let me see. New Year's Day, Tuesday, January 1st, mostly cloudy till noon, then becoming fair, with a low near 39 and a high of 42. It's going to be kind of cool that day, but at least have some sunshine during the afternoon. That might help a little bit. With north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour, we might have a little bit of a wind chill that day, maybe in the low to mid 30s, but it might change between now and then too. That's still a few days away. Alrighty, that's it for tonight. Again, look forward to some clouds and rain moving in not long after midnight, especially toward tomorrow morning, lasting throughout the day, and thunderstorms possible anywhere from tomorrow afternoon to midnight tomorrow night. Most likely, I'd say between about 7 p.m. to midnight. And watch you move in at 3 o'clock when we saying that. I just had to say that for fun. I know the storms, the forecast model's not always on time, but that's the best estimate at this time. Either or, be on the lookout for some heavy rain and thunderstorms, which we hadn't had any thunderstorms recently, not around here at least, and windy conditions. So look out. The wind may turn out to be the biggest threat tomorrow over the storms. Who knows? Well, alrighty, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching and listening and subscribing. And God bless you tonight. Sweet dreams, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.